Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Broadbeach Bowls Club, day 3 of the Australian Championships. It's been a big couple of days of live action here on YouTube. And my name is Barry Lester. I'm your host and commentator today. And we're going to bring you this game, which is New South Wales versus ACT. It's the third game of these sections. And so far, New South Wales, they've won the 2 games, winning 14-11 over WA in round 1. Round 2, winning 18-12 over NT. So they've had the 2 wins. They're coming up against ACT, who won their first by 1 over NT, 13-12, and going down to WA in their second round match, 13-20. So they sit on -6. New South Wales sit on +9. And the calculations here are that ACT need to win this game by 8 or more to win the section and go through to the gold medal game. So it's men's 4s action, New South Wales versus ACT. Round 3, we've got Tim Twining, Jamie Minter, Matthew Baus, Lee Schraner coming up against Tony Barry, David Pruss, Shane Ordelman and David Hill. And I am joined by the one and only Stephen Duggo Douglas. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Glad to be here. Another cracking day here on the Goldie. A little bit less humidity from back in the NT where I was last week.
Yeah, it's not far away here now. You get a couple of nights where you can see that moisture in the air, but when it's like this, you expect high-quality bowls, and it's a big team from Raymond Terrace of stars. They're here to get one thing and one thing only, and that is gold, but there's something standing in their way, and that's the team of ACT, Tony Barry, David Pruss, Shane Ordelman, David Hill. They've had a pretty good day, really. Duggo, when it comes to sections, you're just never out of it, are you?
Oh, no, it's like the old 2-shot factor in play here a bit too. 1 4, 1 minus. And, it's everything to play for. Win this and you have a go at the main dance tonight. A couple of, cracking results here too so far. Like, the NT boys all the way with New South Wales. They were 12 all, and the New South Wales boys, got live, and they had a tough tussle this morning against the ACT as well. Just one shot, obviously, as Barry mentioned. But yeah, lots of class here in the Raymond Terrace group. I'd hate to think how many games, but just between Lee and Matty at the back end, both Australian ex-players, and well, it could be probably hard and say what they haven't won probably isn't worth winning, really.
Yeah, very true. Matty Baus stepping away recently from state bowls. He'd still only be in his probably early 30s, Matty Baus, but family man now. Required to probably spend a bit more time at home, but he might come back to it. But as you said, these players out here, big resumes, but as we've seen, we look at the last round match in the women's 4s, NT coming up against the big names of Karen Murphy and the rest at Cabramatta, and they snatched a big win. You'd be pretty happy about that, Duggo?
Oh yeah, always nice when the minnows get up. We get a lot of support from everybody, underdogs most times, and it just shows the old game of bowls, with that unique sport where the club players get to play against the elite and have a chance.
Yeah, and it is really good conditions. You spoke about nice weather, not as humid as Darwin, but we are sitting around the 27-degree mark. I've just stepped out the rink. If you're seeing bowls, as we see a really nice shot there, as you step out the rink, as I did about 5-10 minutes ago, the rink's 5 metres wide. And all these players, to get back to the centre of the rink, they need every bit of that. They're going right out to the peg line and finishing down the middle. So 7 or 8 feet of draw. That hand that you can see there, that bowler going down, that is definitely the narrower hand. And we were talking to Brian Marshall, who was in your seat only half an hour ago or so, Duggo, and pretty much anywhere you go up and down the eastern side of Australia, the ocean side always seems to be the wide side.
Yeah, it's you hear a lot of golfers say the same thing. I certainly hear it. Broadbeach. I'm lucky enough to be based here now. Barry's here, of course, and that definitely pulls where Broadbeach greens. Well, anyone that's actually played on them, Australian Opens, major tournaments, they're always a pleasure. Really, anyone that wants to have a bit of a gripe about these probably isn't really being fair dinkum. It's and I would say, even by the look of it, the breeze is maybe easing off a little bit from this morning, I reckon, Barry.
It's been weird. It has definitely gusted at times where we thought, geez, it's going to drop away here, and then it just picks up. And we saw a couple of deliveries in the last game where they were looking good halfway down the green, and the wind just picked them up and took them away. Yeah, no,
it's people sometimes say, I mean, many years ago, some of the old boys used to say, "Oh, wind doesn't affect bowls," but I'm in definitely the case that wind can also be your enemy as much as your friend.
Yeah, great bowl there from Jamie Minter. And Raymond Terrace, we'll start with them, the New South Wales team. Very well drilled, well connected sort of team unit, Raymond Terrace. They always seem to really do well in a lot of team events. I think they've got a bit of a brotherhood going there, but Duggo, how important is that?
Oh, look, fours is a great game. I mean, you're playing with three of your club mates or three of your mates if you're at a tournament, and everybody has to put in. You can't really hide like any sport. It's pennant is a fours game. We all love our pennants, Barry. I mean.
So Matty Baus just having a bit of a chat with Lee Schraner at the moment. Just discussing not only how to get another one close, but where the ideal place is to put this bowl in case there was some aggression from the opposition. So Matty Baus out on a nice high line. Is he going to get there? Not quite. So that one's probably about 4 feet short. You see that shadow right across the middle of the green from the trees from across the road. And we've got other big games going on, as you see, so keep up to date. Bowls Now app. Jump on the Bowls link. And it's all there for you as a touch of a button. You've got the Bowls Now app, Duggo?
I'm getting it, and a lot of people will laugh when you say that Duggo's got an app, but yeah, it is 2024 and not 1924.
Come on, Duggo.
I'm even on Bowls link too, Baz.
Of course you are. Okay. Shane Ordelman. David Hill, David Pruss, Tom Barry, are they up for it? Can they, one, get the win, and two, get some shots back? Of course, only on the one win ACT, New South Wales on 2. As speak of the devil, big gust comes roaring through our tent here, so it is gusting at times. ACT currently sit on -6, and New South Wales +9.
Yeah, Barry, you'd love to see the ACT boys get away to a bit of a good start here. It's the old bit of pressure early.
Okay, David Hill on the mat. Backhand, looking to dislodge this pink bowl. Even chip the jack out of there. It is holding up. Just getting away. Not a bad side early on. Lee Schraner. Moved around a little bit over the years. Has Lee from Victoria to Tassie to now. I think he really looks to have found a forever home, as they say. I think he looks really happy at Raymond Terrace.
Yeah. I mean, fortunate enough to have played against Lee a lot over the years, and he seems a lot settled now, a lot happier. Half the battle. I mean, if you're having a happy life, it's got to translate on the green. And if you've probably looked at Lee's results over the last 18 to 24 months, I mean, fairly outstanding, really. Pennant wins in New South. The club actually, achieved a pretty rare double in New South. Recently got 1 and 2 grade, which, fairly rare. Lee major tournaments always around the mark. You're probably not the card you want to draw.
No, they do run a great professional program under the guidance of Jason Stokes there at Raymond Terrace Jets. Lee Schraner, forehand again. Just push this one out. Good ball. body language after release. Not going to make it, so line not an issue for Lee there. 2 good lines, but not quite feeling the weight. As we complete N1 here for the 3rd session, the last sectional game. And New South Wales pick up a 3 there. Grab an early lead. Three shots to 0 after one end. You talk about ACT trying to get off to a good start, Duggo. That's not quite ideal.
No, that would possibly be 3s in a 15-end game, albeit 15 live ends. Last round we saw a game that actually went well over time as they had a couple of dead ends and of course replayed. But yeah, when you're chasing a number as a margin against quality, it puts the pressure right on. A bit of a rumour around the club last night. There's a couple of guys in this Raymond Terrace game at the moment, and they're very keen on their darts, particularly Tim and Matty. And Tim's one of these lucky people that does have a 170 peg out. The hole-in-one in golf, the hole-in-one darts, eh?
At competition level?
At competition level.
There you go. I'd like to see that. Yeah. I've only been to the major darts event once, but I do enjoy it.
And, well, he's got them off to a good dart there just quietly with his first one.
Yeah, nice start from Tim. So jack length. .32 metres as, wow, almost Tony Barry slicing the jack there. So that takes, and that's how the players will be doing it, Steve. They'll be calculating as they go. The deficit was ACT needing to win and win by 8. Now they need to win by 11. So you monitor that as it goes, or do you just try and play the game on its merits and let the rest work itself out?
Oh, of course you always want to win, but look, the business end is always those last 5 ends, and if you can sort of keep yourself in the margin area or around about, if you do need to try and develop something or start playing a few shots, you can make it manageable. Barry, I mean, you're probably the same. Like if you start going a bit crazy early, it'll bite you. It'll take you out of the game very quickly.
And for all those tuning in around the world, if you're not familiar with Stephen Douglas, he's been right to the top. Played a lot of state bowls, played a lot of big level bowls around Australia. And also, Steve, I think you once told me you'd be well into, 40 odd years of bowls now?
Oh, well past, Baz. It's
there
about
you go.
43, 44.
Yeah, so a lot of knowledge on the end of that microphone, ladies and gentlemen. And wherever you're tuning in from, if you know Steve, say g'day. Commonly known as Duggo. So if you know Duggo pretty well, drop something in the comments. Tell us where you're from. And so as this bowl's coming down, it's on a good line. Sit the bowl and stay. Well, not bad. Not bad at all there. Oh, great attempt from David. Now, Duggo, you've got the nickname Duggo. We sort of obviously know where that's from, but don't you love hearing some of these great nicknames getting around out at Clubland? Some we sort of probably can't choose to use too often on here, but isn't it funny how some people get some weird and wacky nicknames?
Oh, classics. I mean, I've probably been fortunate, moved around a lot professionally with work when I was working, and little country towns and big regional areas, but mine was lucky it stuck. I've been called some other things, as Barry mentioned, maybe not for general publication, or I can't probably tell some of the stories why a mixed company, but yeah, Bowles is a good one. I mean, I could say even personally, a lot of people for years didn't actually know my real name, which was probably a good thing. Yeah, even Barry here next to me, I know him by a couple of various nicknames, and he's probably got his favourite, and the ones that he probably less favourite. That'd be true, Barry.
Oh, they always bring a smile to your face, take you back to certain moments. Obviously, the one I'm pretty happy about is Snelly. John Snell. My old mentor just celebrated his 90th birthday recently. And, hoping to catch up with him over the next few months, getting back to Melbourne. But that was a big shot from Matty Baus. Came down, sat that bowl, stayed. Matty Baus, of course, former Australian Jackaroo. He would have clocked up well over 100 state games. And very universal bowler. Put him anywhere, front end, back end, multiple disciplines. Just a great player. And that is a beautiful shot from Shane Ordelman on the forehand, coming out of the shadows, drawing it within 8 inches. The angle of that bowl, see the full front of that bowl, the stickers there. As we speak about the great man himself, Jason Stokes walks past the GM of Raymond Terrace Jets, returning home from Singapore recently. See the F1s, Jason Stokes, the main man in charge at Raymond Terrace, walking past. Great attempt there. So, Shane Ordelman, forehand again. Can he repeat the dose? Duggo, how's he looking?
There's plenty of width here. I'm not sure that he'll get back quite from there. And fraction less weight, unfortunately.
So as it sits, one shot to ACT. First bowl of Shane Ordelman's. Can they keep it? Lee Schraner, he won't be far away, we know that. Current New South Wales state skipper.
Well, it'd be a fairly limited group too to say that Lee would be a successful state skipper at 3 states, Barry. When he was in Tassie, they certainly were more than competitive in Ali Shield.
I'm just trying to think, did Leroy skip for Victoria? I'm sure he did. How much, I don't know. It was pretty hard to get a gig with Matty Flapper, Toddy Simmons, and so on.
Our mate Wilkesy even went all right for Victoria.
Yeah, so Lee Schraner just missing slightly high there. Perfect weight. Yeah, I think by the time he started sort of skipping for Vic, then he moved on to Taz. But definitely, yeah, skipped for three different states. Not many people can say that.
And had success in 3 states as well. Like Lee, multiple, particularly singles discipline, the open singles and the champion of champions. I mean, to win one of them in a state like Victoria, but Lee's been able to achieve it in 2 of the power states.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
That's just going to finish under. So David Hill not changing anything there. Just trying to play a soft or safe draw, but Lee Schraner, he's got a few in there. I might see some form of aggression. Backhand swing, look for the split. He's shaping up backhand, I believe. Yes, it is. So it's backhand looking for the split. No jack. He's close.
Close.
He's going to get some jack here, I think. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, well played. Thought he was going to catch the jack there. He's cut it back. Well, no, he's actually got shot out of it. We've just seen the indication there from Shane Ordelman indicating 1. So, as it came out of the shadows there, Duggo, I thought it was just going to catch the jack. Held on nicely. So, David Hill, what has he got? Can he reply here?
It's all about weight here.
Not a mile away. Nestle in the back. Well, and flop.
Oh.
Not quite. So 1 it is to New South Wales. They score back-to-back ends and make it 4-0.
Not panic stations yet. Not panic stations yet, but you'd certainly be looking to try and win this end for sure here, Barry. 5-0 or more would be very, very tough.
Yeah, just keeping those positives front of mind, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, played a decent head, held the crossover. So front end did their job, but Lee there, as we saw, quick to switch to the back end and play weight when it was required. And what about the initiative here from Bowls Australia, Duggo, to be able to instead of spreading these events out over multiple weeks across a year, knowing that people are quite time poor, they've got to work, they've got to manage that. You must be wrapped from a bowls lover, someone obviously been there, done that, played a lot of state bowls. Must be wrapped to see it all come together over a week.
Oh, look, this format and the Nationals concept is great, particularly to market the game, and we are trying to generate additional streams of support and everything. To come down last week, we obviously had the Alley Shield, the Premier Interstate competition. The week before you had the Para Bowls and the juniors, and gives them a chance to be seen, particularly now with social media and the channels. It's brilliant for the game. We are definitely a younger focused sport now, so older people are playing the game, of course, we know that. The younger people, it gives everyone from a participation point, and to come away and have a chance to win your club state title, get to a national title. It doesn't matter what you're playing. Fantastic.
Well said. Yeah, you see so many players, and for those that are supporting their club and state events and get a bit of success, you see some players featuring in multi events, so they're not doubling up on flights, doubling up on accommodation. So there's definitely a saving there, isn't there?
Oh, look, for sure. And as you've seen, if you've been watching or looking at the programs, there's multiple names here, even from the bigger states, which is a credit to the people who've done it. But we're all time poor now. This is a great concept, and the Gold Coast is a fantastic place. Last year it was in WA. I unfortunately couldn't get over there to watch. I would have loved to, but the feedback from people getting there was pretty solid. I think you were there, Barry.
Absolutely, yeah. I love heading over to the west. Anytime you can, look out over that Indian Ocean. It's something pretty special, mate. And those long sunsets, beautiful white sand, and great clubs, great greens. So you're right, WA did a great job. And here we are on the east coast, and it's a quick reminder in how big Australia is when you haven't been to Western Australia for a while, or vice versa. If you're in the west and you're coming over here, that you look at your itinerary and there's a 6 in front of your flight time. Yeah, wow, really? And so it's great. That's what I think that's a big reason what makes bowls so great in Australia and so strong, is the fact that at some point there we are quite far apart, so it keeps us together.
Oh yeah, and this Nationals, it gives you a chance to catch up with people that you've met
Absolutely.
at other ones, and it's great. I mean, at the end of the game, we are a friendly sport. Like, we're all out there to try and win on the green, but off the green, some of the relationships and associations you get, and not just with the elite. I mean, that's a bonus part, to say that you get the chance of to walk out there and have a chance to meet the Chloes and the Kelsos and Karens of this world. Well, you've got the same chance. Barry's been fortunate enough to represent Australia at the ultimate level, but he also gets to meet the guys at the grassroots level.
Absolutely, I'm getting to do that a lot now with my current business, my current coaching business, getting out to clubland, so it's great. And we had Christina Christic coming in the other day for a chat as we see this bowl coming in from Shane Ordelman. Or was that David? Yeah, it was David, just missing high there. Great effort. That's what it's all about, from grassroots. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing some players this week. Talk about the NT team. Drew with Queensland, beat New South Wales. And there's some names in those teams, not just the NT team, but the other teams. Some names popping up. And they're doing it fairly regularly now. And people are starting to get to know who they are through Australian Indoor Champs, Australian Opens and so on. And it's great to see. So well done to everyone for putting your name firstly down and to enter these events and to get through this far. But we'll just quickly go around the rinks. Next door, women's fours. Victoria playing ACT. ACT lead there, 2-1. Men's fours, NT 0. Western Australia on 3 after 2. And the women's fours, Tassie, not on the board yet after 1 end, but WA sneaking in the 1 there. So we'll keep you up to date with those, plus as many other results as we can, as Matty Baus just does what Matthew Baus does best. See that high drawing line out on the chalk, so that the peg line. What are your distances like, Doug? I don't want to put you on the spot. 5 metres in feet?
5 metres in feet? Oh, I roughly do 3 feet to the metre, so that's 15 feet.
Yeah, so if you see a bowl on the left of screen, head out to that paintwork and then come back to the centre. As we see, Shane Ordelman needs to get down for
Drop.
Jack. If you see a bowl head out to the paint line there on the peg, you're out to that 7 or 8 feet mark. It's quite a large draw line. Matthew Baus, great exponent of it then.
Well, Barry, what do you think? You came through the area of us when we started with what we've now returned to as the wide bowl, and then we went through a period where everyone was chasing the tighter bowl, and it's all, some people call it big bias. I mean, what did you prefer, or what would you, I mean...
Yeah, there's probably a period probably around the early 2000s where the colour bowls just came in, the narrower bowls came in. Yeah, sort of everyone was sort of, yeah, weren't using anything extraordinary, I guess, from wide to narrow, but I think it's a great part of the game, isn't it? You look at tennis rackets, you look at golf clubs, the fact that you can upgrade your driver, upgrade your putter, and all that. So it's a great part of the game that the manufacturers are supplying, the colours and all that. So yeah, I love that. All in all, a big thing that's changed off the back of that too is surfaces. Who would ever thought that you'd put carpet outside? Carpet. I thought I'd never see that in any sport or anywhere you go, to see actual carpet outside, and that experiment for me, it probably hasn't worked. Carpet now, you don't see any carpets going in and outside due to the weather elements, but yeah, it's a lot of good things happening in the sport. You don't have to look at yesterday's announcement. Commonwealth Games, lawn bowls, 1 of 10 sports, 2026 in Glasgow. There's David Hill missing under there, but no, I think it's great to see all the different lines, the different colours, logos and all that, mate. So what are you rocking these days? You got the red bombers going around still?
The Red Devils, as they're referred to, are back out of the box, but I mean, as Barry alluded to before, I've been around a little while. I still don't mind getting the old classic super grips out of the box and having a bit of fun, but they would be fun here today with the way this green's starting to draw.
Lee Schraner just missing under there, looking to sit that bowl over at 3 o'clock, that orange bowl out of the head to make a number. David Hill, well, I think he'll stick to his guns here, play some form of arriving weight down on the backhand, looking to sit the shot bowl or trail the jack. Yeah, so Matty Baus, he comes away with the winner for a 1. New South Wales, 3 ends in a row. They lead 5-0. 3-1-1. Nice going there. Let's see where they put the mat. Right back.
On the tee.
Long jack coming as well. So if that finishes, yeah, another 33, 34 metre length. So another long one. One thing I do think that it wouldn't hurt the sport. I think potentially, you see players on the side of the tennis court have a bag full of rackets and as backup, and same with batsmen with cricket bats and golf balls and whatever. I'm a big believer that if the conditions change in a game of bowls, you get one opportunity to change your equipment. If you're 10 ends into a game and it starts getting super windy or big downpour of rain, you can nominate one change of equipment during a game of bowls. I think that's just moving with the times. If you've got a narrow set of bowls and there's a quick green, pours down raining for 30 minutes, you think, geez, what do I do for some swingers now? You've got them in the boot of your car or you've brought them along. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Once again, just moving with the times.
Oh, fair point. And look, we're playing a sport where conditions do change.
Absolutely, yep.
Halfway through a game and a set that was performing brilliantly can just go off. That's the same for whether it's a synthetic surface or a natural surface. What I'd probably refer to as a standard New South Wales tactic here, tee to tee. Yeah, they love it.
I've got down 34 metres, so nice start from both leads. In behind the jack, 1 metre, right on line. So I've done my homework here, Duggo. I've got 5 metres is 16 feet and 4 inches. So if you're out to the peg chalk, you're at 8 feet on this current rink. So that's 8 feet of draw with, like you say, modern day bowls. And if you go back to the 90s or 80s, where were they going then? My first set of bowls in 1996 were a set of Dunlops with noughts and crosses logos. So I'd hate to be using them out there today, especially on that ocean side.
Please tell me you didn't have brown shoes, Barry.
I didn't. I definitely had hand-me-down Carandonas though. That's going back.
Wow.
I told Dylan Fisher the other day I used to have a white cardigan, a woolen cardigan. What I'd do for it now on a Saturday night.
Correct.
A nice effort there from Timmy Twining. As we see this one coming down from Jamie Minter. Looks to be on a pretty good line. Yeah.
Up and over.
That's great shooting. Now, are they the same set of bowls? No, they're not. Of course not. Can't be. Can they?
Well, there's nothing stopping you using your
that's right.
partners for other two.
Bit lighter in the luggage. So I've got this running still at 15.8. Running on nicely. As you see this bowl out of the shadows. Creeping up to the jack. Lovely. DP.
Oh, great bowl.
Oh, Prussy. David Pruss. That could be maybe just out. Good shot, though. So as it sits, 5-0. New South Wales. We're 9+ on the table going into this game. Add 5 to that. It's 14 plus 14. And
nice weight control here.
It's a great double from Jamie Minter. Is there a mint emoji? I'm not sure. Robbie, is there a mint emoji? Mint. Could we maybe put a little bit of green leaf in the... No, I mean in the comments. Anyone that's appreciating those 2 bowls from Jamie Minter, maybe chuck a green leaf in there for mint. Nice shooting, Jamie Minter. Ditch to ditch. 2 bowls. Inside a foot. Brilliant. As Matty Baus approaches the other end. You think, Duggo, he'll be looking to trail that jack and hide it away? Or?
For sure.
Yep.
An established skipper's shot, he'd be very confident with this, I would think. High line.
Yeah. It is okay there. Lee Schraner just saying, Matty, that's okay. Any jack movement you'd think would probably head out that way.
ACT boys need to be careful. It's only 1 in there at the moment.
There's one in the comments for you, Duggo. Also moving positions in a game. Other sports do it. So you can go from full back to full forward. You can go from the wing to... And in cricket, you can go from mid-on to fine leg. In bowls, can you go from lead to second or third or skip to lead? Or I know we do that in the Premier League up here in Queensland, but I mean, could you open it up for other events, state events? You get 1 nomination per game?
I think 1 nomination per game, because look, we all have games where you can't bowl. We're not robots.
Yes.
And if someone is struggling to have that option and say, well, yeah, you go. But as I said, 1, you're locked in. Yeah. You've made your choice.
And it's not a bad thing. You can't look at it and go, oh, no, bad luck if you're playing bad, because it's the same for both sides.
Yep.
So everyone gets the opportunity. So they're all the little things, and we're only just discussing what's in the commentary box, in the comments box there, and we appreciate that, and it's great to hear from the viewers. Thank you for sending in your comments, and maybe anyone out there listening, you might say, well, we might try that for our next club tournament or something. You're allowed to have a positional change during a game, but only once per game. So the game's always forever evolving. We probably look at things that's happening in the game now, and if we had looked at them 20 years ago, then no way, that'll never happen. But that's the evolution of time, isn't it?
Yeah. Coloured uniforms. Barry alluded before, white cardigan. Well, he was all white. Our poor lady colleagues, they used to have restrictions on how high their dress could be. And that sounds very, very Victorian, as in times.
Yes, I know what you mean, but Lee Schraner, he's got the ability to just trail this jack, tuck it around the corner, take that shot away from David Hill. A decent line.
He's staying up. Just gave it away then with a flick of the hand, as you probably saw.
Yeah, weight's really good here. So he's finishing probably a foot past. Yeah, a foot past the jack. So that'd be the weight he's after.
Oh, that weight is special with the jack in front of it.
David Hill, they need to get on the board here. ACT.
He's got the aggressive line here, or Benny, of course, as he's referred to sometimes.
So Benny will stick with that. He's not here. He is one down on the head. Pulling up short.
Lee about to deliver now. Certainly a tighter line.
I just heard him say sorry. Well, Jamie Minter, he's definitely the hero so far this end. Great shot. Great double shot. Really. Paired him up lovely.
It's just about a must-get shot here for Benny, unfortunately.
A little bit of risk, isn't it? Turning that orange bowl out 3 or 4 rolls. Has he got more on it? Yes, he has. I don't think he's going to get back, though, Duggo.
Yep, much better weight, but unfortunately, this roadside on this green, Barry, sometimes prone to doing that as you're coming out of that big shaded area, you think, or?
Well, this green, you've got the ability to actually move a bit closer to the ditch as well. So, but no, I must admit I haven't really played on this much, but over the years on this green here, I've been able to play, not in this particular rink much, but play on this green a lot, and you always just think you're coming over onto a really high drawing rink or high drawing green. So you get that planted in your mind early, knowing you have to send them out early and trust it. Everything usually comes back.
And just in golf, like if you are narrow, it's like giving the hole away in golf for a putt. It's never got a chance.
Yeah, so true. So the score is now 6-0. Doing it in ones the last 3 ends, New South Wales. Scoring a 3 on the first end. And then scoring 3 consecutive ones to go 6-0 up. Is this the end, Duggo, for ACT?
Well, 1/3 of the game through, adding on the margin they need to achieve, they really must get probably nearly a multiple, I'd think. One's the death by 1,000 cuts sometimes, and easy to defend for the New South Wales boys. They're pretty experienced, the back two. I can't see them leaving too many opportunities open, for the back end of the ACT boys. I know it's bowls and it happens, but you'd certainly rather be the New South Wales boys, but they can't relax. If you drop your guard in this, you'll do a number as quick as winking. Coming down now, probably not a bad line. He's been fairly consistent with his weight.
Yeah, it's a good home, isn't it? Look at those lines from Tim Twining.
Yeah.
Very good shooting. So line not an issue.
And the ACT boys here, I mean, they're probably not household names to many, but but they've all been around a long time and bumped into them in various formats over the years, and they're certainly competitive. This isn't beyond them. It's certainly going to be hard work, and they'd have expected that going in. But I can see them turning it around. That maybe not to get the margin they need, but I certainly don't see them in terms of being out. And with this format, Barry, they do get a chance to play a medal round this evening.
Yeah, winning their first game over NT 13-12, +1 there. Then going down to WA -7, so losing 13-20.
And this sectional format, it does throw up some funny ones over the years. We've seen teams get through with negative margins and whatever because of, again, funny people having a draw, and you're always live. And as we said before, it's not. It's certainly the name of the game is to play for gold, but still a consolation to say that you've come third in your country in anything is an honour, and it's something to sit back and feel very happy with.
Yeah, good call. So David Pruss just missing under there. They need it. They need that showstopper right now. That one right on the jack, just to pause the momentum. But this man here, Jamie Minter, he's having none of that. He's absolute glue at the moment between the lead and thirds. Just doing his job and doing it well.
And you hear it so often. They say, seconds wait. Well, that's probably a perfect example of, isn't it, Barry? You don't have to get front toucher every time. As a two, behind in that target area is just fantastic.
Yeah. And love a second that just gives their bowler a chance and puts them in good areas. Matty Baus. You see he's about 2 bowls under the paint, and then and that's what happens. So if you're not out to that sort of 8-foot marker, out to that paint, it's hard to get rewarded. And a couple of months ago, five-a-side, pretty much 2 months ago, the Broadbeach five-a-side was on here, and I remember these rinks, they were coming in from here quite easily with a bit of breeze. Let's see how this one goes. From Shane Ordelman. Is that enough? Is that the boss?
Well, he's looking.
Lee Schraner just indicating it's close. So half a bowl in front. You can see where that line there. Matty Baus. He can get out to the chalk line this time. Yeah, much better.
So the famous finger measure we just saw from Lee there, Barry, you a proponent of it, or do you just rely on the old eye?
No, I definitely use it, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, once you get the hang of it, it sort of makes sense. Good guide. I don't religiously do it, but yeah, it gives me a good guide to how I feel, how the head's looking. But I do encourage, just in all circumstances, just do that little 360 view of the head.
Always multiple looks.
Look at the full angles. As we see some jack movement here.
Oh, he's a bit stiff.
Shane Ordelman, well, he definitely is stiff. Trying to arrive, trail, sit. Got a bit of jack, bit of bowl, and unfortunately, still down at, probably just the one. I feel like his last bowl might be second, Duggo.
On the screen, I'd favour it, but it's sort of starting to look a bit ugly. We haven't seen many on the backhand coming this way.
Yeah, well, this hand's just so consistent. This Oceanside hand, the east side. You see Lee, he'll send that out, let it do the work. And it comes. Lee using the, I think these are his dynamics. Nice shot. I think that counts. So,
full draw.
Yeah, forehand here, David Hill. Can he afford to arrive? Look for the actual shot bowl. Definitely on a high line. Just steered it out there, didn't he, on that occasion?
Yep. It's got back okay in the end. It's Leroy now. He's looking for something similar.
All the other games going on, as you can see there on the screen, all very tight. Of course, still time limit here. 2 hours, 30 minutes. Needs to clear that one, Lee Schraner. Not quite. ACT desperate to get on the board here. Forehand, just arrive. Slightly tighter here from David Hill. Don't think he's there though, Duggo.
Half a yard of weight, I'd say. Valiant attempt, but unfortunately.
2 it is.
2. And no surprise, Matt back again. Another T to T, I'd suggest. Don't change your winning formula. Importance of the solid lead now. You don't want to go spraying jacks around when you're playing well to a length.
Yeah, they definitely look very comfortable on these long ends. Lee Schraner asking his lead there. Tim Twining, get that jack back to the tee. Just a yard short on this occasion. So 5 ends played here. And we'll go around the rinks as we update the other scores for you. You can see there WA in the women's fours. They lead.
Another great start from Tim.
They lead Tassie 4-2 after 4 ends. That game, that's a battle against, well, almost player and coach now, or player and manager. Christina Christic, current player still, and Rebecca Van Ash, high performance manager. 2 good mates, played a lot of games together in international circuit and against each other domestically. They'll be enjoying each other's company out there, Christina and Rebecca. So that one there, WA leads 4-2 over Tassie after 4 ends.
Tim drifting around this bowl. Tony needs about just on a metre.
Other games going on. The other women's fours game. Victoria taking on ACT. Well, Victoria lead that one 5-4 after 5 ends. But Tony Barry, he won't be happy with those. Good lines. Grabs something out of that at least, but not quite feeling the weight. Heading back to the car park in that southerly direction here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. But this man, Jamie Minter, can we get one mint leaf, please? One green leaf in the comments. Because Jamie Minter, he can't fold him at the moment.
His percentages would be 100 nearly, wouldn't they, Barry?
It's up there from an effective rate.
Key bowl here for the ACT boys. Can't let this develop too much more.
That's a big effort from Prussy.
And shot.
Yeah, shot David Pruss. Well, that's the one they've been looking for, Duggo.
Oh, for sure.
Something inside sort of that 8 to 10 inches. Bit of a gap there, so it's going to have to be probably outdrawn.
You'd like to double up here, but the way Jamie Minter's going...
He couldn't, could he?
Oh, really?
Jamie Minter.
Do you mind, umpire?
What a player. Lee Schraner, he's happy there, saying, brilliant, brother. So Jamie Minter definitely creating extra front-end pressure to his opposition here.
All about weight here.
But can David Pruss put it back? It's working its way in. Might have managed third there.
In that annoying spot.
Here we go. Matty Baus, former international and New South Wales state player.
Clean air here.
All-round legend of the game. Good areas for him.
And Matty, just not a handy lawn bowler, more than handy cricketer in grade cricket in Newcastle, which is no mean feat. Has made hundreds, and, well...
Did I hear 15?
Something silly.
15 first grade centuries in the Newcastle Cricket District. That's crazy good.
Keen on his darts, as mentioned, thrown multiple 180s, and have a go at trying to do that as a layman on
Needs
a
a
dart.
clean entry here.
Oh.
David Ordelman. Shane Ordelman. That is nearly... Oh, it is a game of millimetres. If that falls, it's shot.
For sure, I would
And they're
think.
searching for that one shot, Duggo. And just little things like that. Just to see that bowl rock around and not fall over. If it falls over, is clearly the shot. So Matty Baus needs to be careful here.
Oh, have a look at this.
Oh, through the gap.
Oh.
Great shot.
And that one's fallen.
Well, why not? I think the ACT should have a niggle here.
Yep.
Jack in the ditch. Backhand.
Oh.
Oh.
Hilly giving him the, well, perhaps the harder of the options, but certainly plenty to rest on.
Yeah, it looks backhand with weight. Let's take that one of Matty Baus's out or put the Jack in the ditch. Or it's forehand with weight up around the front yellow. So I think while the Jack's vulnerable on the backhand.
Oh, has he got the weight?
That's a tough shot. Is he up for
Has he?
Is he up for it though?
Oh, thank you.
Of course he is.
We've got no
That's
idea.
the one. Shane Alderman. That's the one. Well, he didn't quite play the weight he was asked to play, but he said, no, I don't need to play any weight of that. I'll just draw it cold.
They all look the same on the card though, Barry.
Raymond Terrace up against the Vikings. Tuggeranong Vikings.
Oh.
New South Wales versus ACT.
But
The capital.
But knowing Lee, I think this is one of his little favourite shots, this little backhand niggle. I've seen him so often over the years. I think he'll back himself here. By the look of the ways, explaining to Matty there, he's looking at the options. Give him the percentage play. It certainly makes it easier for a quality player.
Yeah, sure does. Great angle of it there, right behind the rink. Great camera work. Lee Schraner. Backhand.
Let's see what he does.
Jack in the ditch. Or forehand.
Oh,
Or forehand trail the Jack down the line for 2 or 3. And it is forehand. So around the front yellow. Under the orange, for looking for the Jack.
He's half keen on it.
Wants the Jack now.
No gap.
Oh, that'll do for one. I think we'll see a fair bit of weight here from David Hill. Jack in the ditch. Take that bowl out of Raymond Terrace.
I think if we had the music, we could cue the famous Benny Hill theme song. I think he'll be aggressive. Nothing to lose. It is their bowl, the orange bowl, on the way in on the forehand, so that gives him an option.
I think with this stage of the match, looking to get on the board, they've got the kill option as well. Backhand through the shot bowl. Got plenty in there. Even kill the end. Start again. Need to make some movement here.
Yeah.
On the backhand, there's clean access to the shot bowl. Forehand, there's a couple of bowls in the way. Let's see where he shapes up here. So it's going to be forehand. Maybe just trying to draw the shot. Okay, I think it's going to be a forehand draw. Just up under the orange, maybe with a foot of weight. Tough shot, but at this level, Well, he wants that to stay up because jack movement later might come in handy.
Lost it.
So, just trying to play that in-between shot, I feel, there from David Hill. I think it's time to let loose, I think, Duggo.
That old 50% shot. You've only got to get the line right.
And if you don't get anything right, it's not 50%.
Not a bad rate of interest. Hopefully we never see them. Can Lee double up?
So we've got our first mint leaf from Carmen. Thank you. Lee Schraner, forehand. Oh, it's right open now. There it is. It's got a bow tie wrapped around it.
It's a very wide head. He would be unlucky to go through and get nothing.
He just doesn't want the front half of Lee Schraner's. Kicks the blue out and then get his other blue on the exit. Will that get back?
Certainly narrower than he's been.
Will it get back? It's tough weight. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Not quite. One shot. New South Wales, they now lead 9-0. And that 6 end's gone. So they went 3-1-1-1-2-1. It's only the two multiples and 4 ones. But they do lead 9-0 after 6 ends. Let's have a look around the venue. There's plenty happening. Next door, well, you've got the Victorian game going on. Ladies there, falls. Victoria and ACT. And on the other green, of course, Duggo, for those that aren't quite up to speed with what's happening here at the venue today, there's men's and women's fours. And there's 2 sections. And right now, one section's on this green and another section's on the other green. And tonight, after this game, we'll bring you the women's fours final. Going to be hard to top the men's pairs final last night.
Oh, it was absolutely sensational. Yeah, the New South Wales boys got away. WA fought back. And then some quality ends at the end if you weren't watching it. That in the end, the scoreboard probably a little bit rough for the WA boys, I thought, because they did play well. But at the end, well, Ben and Brett got, well, some nice, not revenge, but a nice result, given that a couple of years ago they played an absolute cracking Australian Open pairs final and took absolute world class to beat them, of course. But we're quite used to those gentlemen doing very well.
Yeah, no, there's some great players around, especially this week, and it's a bit of probably redemption, a little bit like you say, runner-up in the Australian Open pairs, come back a couple of years later, same green, slightly different format, similar title, Australian pairs, not Australian Open pairs, but yeah, you could see that without probably asking them, but you could sort of see that was a little bit sweet to say, wait a minute, well, we're back, and we got the big pairs title. We're after not quite getting the AO one, but yeah, the WA boys, they played great. There was some absolute screaming shots played, and yeah, like I said, it's going to be top to beat. But this man here, well, Jamie Minter, he's got, I reckon he's brought his own jack.
Oh.
We'll have to check to see if that's got his name engraved on it, that jack, because he's playing so well.
He's certainly not throwing darts. He's just all over it.
Any time ACT look like, all right, we're going all right here, packing a few in there. Jamie Minter, he's taking it straight away from them.
This one going to finish?
David Pruss, no, not quite. Missing a yard there. The boys from the Vikings, great uniforms, red and black. Very smart looking kit.
One of the big clubs in the ACT for people that don't know Tuggeranong or the Vikings. area, it's a pretty impressive setup.
Six ends played here. Green one, round 3. Men's fours action. New South Wales playing their little baby brother, baby sister, ACT.
Yep.
ACT claimed the capital rights though.
For many years, ACT were a bit of New South Wales kryptonite back in the early days. They had some like Hall of Fame players that used to play for New South, and when the ACT came in back in '85, they brought the 2 territories into the Alley Shield. A very famous victory for the ACT first time they played New South Wales, and lucky enough to be there, and it was quite hilarious.
Yeah, I've only seen it a couple of times myself at Alley Shield level, but yeah, if ACT can get up over in New South, well, they let them know about it.
Oh, yes.
That is a beautiful shot, Matty Baus. You couldn't have walked down and put that in a better spot. He hasn't disturbed anything, and he's also counted behind the jack. Brilliant shot, Matty Baus.
And these short ones now are starting to put in a bit of a wall of death for the ACT boys. They need to try and convert something here.
Shane Ordelman, backhand, on its way. Can he just change the shape of his head?
It's releasing.
Well, that's in a good home though. That's plan B. That gives his skip or his second bowler a chance, but that gives definitely his skip something to play to. As we look at the women's fours, Victoria now 8-4 up over ACT. Men's fours, WA 6-2 up over NT, and then the women's fours, WA, Christina Christic skipping that one over there, 6-4 over Taz. So all the games moving along quite nicely at the moment, all on the 6 end mark. Here we go. Knew it wouldn't be far away. This is in a good zone here.
Options.
Pink through the yellow. Well, split and run and jack, well, that's the only way to play it.
Thank you.
More than one way to get it done, as they say. Yeah, a bit of a scratch of the head from Lee Schraner. But sometimes you just got to risk it. And they did. Shane Alderman up the middle there, backhand, looking for a result, and he got it. And now they've got shot, third and fourth shot. So they've got plenty in there. Could this be the one, Duggo? We've waited 6 ends. Is this the one?
Territory boys would be hoping so, but I think Lee will have a fair bit to say about it.
Forehand. I thought he might have had a little look down there on the backhand.
Yep.
He's got a lot of confidence in this hand, and you can't blame him, because look at this beautiful turn.
All about the weight here.
What an effort. He wants to finish inside that back one. Well, he might have managed third shot there.
Might change his mind if nothing changes here. Come back that other side now. Bit of reward.
Don't mind that first half there from David Hill. Has it got the legs? His line's really nice. It's finishing. It's finishing. What an attempt. 1 yard required. Lee Schraner just asking what's happening down there.
Matty's told him to stay on that hand.
Yeah, he yelled out, just dead draw the shot.
Out there again.
It's probably take a yard off here for Lee Schraner.
Has he?
I think he's similar to his first. 2 good lines though.
Benny really needs to add to this to give them some sort of chance to start pegging back. Ends halfway after this one, basically.
So David Hill just yelling out just a draw, and his third, Shane Ordelman, has said, how about you just come down here and turn one of our bowls up? Don't mind this. A little bit of risk somehow taking their nearest bowl out, but I'm only sensing about 4 feet of weight. Well, it's more than 4 feet. Wow, this has got danger written all over it with this weight.
Close.
Danger through Lee Schraner's back too.
Oh, wow.
Well, he might have made 3 out of that. Or 4. 3 it is, I believe.
3 or 4, Barry? 3 big shots.
Yeah, 3 it is. So, as I said, sometimes you could just risk it. Did run the risk of taking their own out. Held nicely. Shot the second bowl through Leroy's back too. And they've made a 3. And all of a sudden, only 6 in it. So, a multiple to start proceedings for ACT.
And not unexpectedly, a change of length. Not significant, but sometimes it only needs a metre or 2, Barry, as you know, leading for many years. It can quickly throw someone off just 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah, that's good skipping there from David Hill, just to try and get the jack in a new position. Just needs his team to go with him now. This looks like a decent start from Tony Barry. Pulling up a yard short. That was definitely going to get back though. Conditions very, very nice here. Still a beautiful afternoon weather-wise. 25 degrees. And 10-kilometre winds. So perfect conditions really. When you're talking 25 degrees and 10 kilometres of wind, it doesn't get much better than that, Duggo.
And on a quality service, it really is. This enables these players to bring out the best for you to see, and some of the heads even looking across the green, you can see that they're certainly tidying up some of these heads now as the players take advantage of good conditions. And
what about yourself, Duggo? You move around a bit, mate. You jump in the car and you fly around a little bit. You head up to the Northern Territory. What's next, mate? You got any trips lined up?
Just a Christmas visit to Mum and Dad and my partner. Our parents at a lovely little place called Marimbula. Barry's been there. He knows that I'm talking about one of the great little secrets on the Australian East Coast. It's on the far south coast of New South, almost on the Victorian border.
Club Sapphire?
Yep. The home of the famous Michael Wilkes.
Famous! Infamous.
I'll keep it clean because I see him at Christmas and I want him to buy me a drink.
Michael Wilkes, everyone. Former Australian representative, state skipper for Victoria. 242 games. You wouldn't believe it. But right in front of us where we are today, live streaming this game, is exactly the place where Michael Wilkes was chaired off for the last time, skipping Victoria. Right here in Broadbeach by his teammates. So Wilkesy, down there at Club Sapphire in Marimbula. Hello, mate, to you and Kaz and everyone else.
But no, it's
I miss getting back there, but yeah, for our viewers, if you're ever in the area, make sure you call in to check out the Mighty Dolphins setup.
Well, and Michael was pretty integral in getting this actual tournament restarted after a fairly long break, and the first 3 reincarnations of this event were held at Marimbula under the dome on the carpet, and it was fantastic. And it's kept running and hopefully keeps running for many more years. As we were saying, it gives everybody a chance to get through, win their state. You get a ticket to the dance and you get a chance to come away with some silverware.
And talking about the dance, it's looking like a bit of a scattered dance floor at the moment, Duggo. Is it the length maybe, that new position of the jack? We're only at 25 metres here, 26 metres. Or was it maybe just what Christina Christic said yesterday? She said there's that little patch in the middle of a game where you can sort of just duck in and duck out of the game with your concentration. Is that what we're maybe seeing a little bit of here?
Could be a little bit. I mean, the ACT boys got that 3 and they certainly needed it. But I do know one thing, our friend Mr. Minty, well, there he is again. Don't worry about the links today for him.
Oh, Shane Ordelman.
Oh, Shane, thank you.
Well, that'll do for shot. Yeah, 2 down to 1 up. Yeah, he's definitely got the votes, hasn't he, so far?
Oh.
Jamie Minter.
You'd be happy to keep this one in the bag all the time, this game, if he was to keep playing like this. If they're fortunate enough to get through to this evening and he was to bring this, he would make it very, very difficult for any opposition with this sort of consistency. I
really don't subscribe or favour the call or the saying, you can hide a good 2. I think they are a shining light in your team. Like I said, the glue, keeping everything together. If you can get a good 2, hold on to them like gold dust. So where else, mate? Where else are you travelling?
Well, as I said, just got back from the dry season in Darwin and the start of the build-up, and I'm now based here at Broadbeach with, Barry's relocated here now, and of course looking forward to the season coming up here after Christmas with our Premier League. And it's a pretty impressive club here at Broady. It's certainly one of the most famous clubs in world bowls. I mean, it's had Commonwealth Games, World Championships. The players that have played here or are playing here are certainly some of the most elite. Goes without saying. I mean, and it's a great club too. Like the whole attitude and atmosphere of the place. It's friendly. It's again. Wow.
Well. So Matty Baus, he's just pumped up Shane Alderman's other bowl, 6 feet up. For now, ACT staring down the barrel of a potential another multiple. And that'll be 2 multiples in a row. If they can hold on to this, 9-5. Well, that's nothing, is it? That's one end, really.
And still plenty of ends in the bank.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear your stories, Duggo, for someone that's been at the game for many years, especially playing. And what was it like to play state bowls, mate? Was it a highlight of your career?
A highlight. And look, it gave me the chance to actually play in the sport that I love against and with some of the best players of, in my case, probably 3 generations. I was lucky enough to play against Barry's great friend and mentor, John Snell, and it's great to hear that he's still going around, and had the privilege of actually playing a game against John a few years ago, and he's using an arm now, but who cares? Another part of the game that, some people think controversial, but I'm all for it. It gives people the ability to keep playing, and John's still quality with that. And in talking about John, I mean, he could probably tell you every shot he's ever played.
Yeah. Yeah, I know someone else like that.
Harsh. But no, I mean, it was an honour to represent my state as it is.
Oh, it's all happening here. Wow. Bowls are moving around everywhere. It's 2. They were holding 2. The guys from the Vikings, Tuggeranong Vikings from ACT, they're holding 2. They're still holding 2. But is that yellow bowl at the bottom of the screen, is that 3rd shot? Well, Lee Schraner, he was into it. But yeah, you're right, you come across some legends of the game, and mate, it's been awesome having you come in here today and share some of your stories and insight to the game. Well, he's going to take that yellow one out, so it's definitely only 2 now, which makes these 2 blue bowls vulnerable. Can Lee Schraner go quick at one of them, Duggo, and get the other one on the exit?
I think they're both able to go out clean here. Yeah, that's the call from Matty, I think. Lee's coming down to have another look. He's certainly opened the path up with his first one to bring that double cannon shot off.
Well, Lee's not express, and he knows that. He's not super fast, but he has got a great runner on him, Lee Schraner. All he's doing is looking for the bowl standing up in front of the jack there. I feel if he gets a good chunk of that, he should get the other blue bowl and leave the New South Wales team with 1 shot in there. That pink bowl over there at 7 o'clock, bottom of the screen. That's the 3rd shot.
And I favour 2/3 looking at it from here. So, again, there's a fair bit of reward for any risk here.
Yeah, with the head being right outside our commentary box, I'm favouring the yellow bowls 4th, but you never know. That could be on the move as well, on the follow-through. So let's see. Let's see what hand. I think it's big forehand. Yes, it is. So big forehand, looking for that bowl standing up. Well, not as big as I thought he'd go. Well, off it goes. So
just let go.
2 shots. So back-to-back multiples for ACT. They're back within 4 shots of this in this match. From picking up a 3 on the 7th end and then picking up a 2 there on the 8th end. That's 5 shots in 2 ends. That's good going.
They can triple up here. This would be brilliant.
Mat up. Tony Barry, mat up 4 metres. Where do they put this, Jack? They're going short, medium or long here. That's probably, well, it's a couple of metres off the tee, so it's definitely more,
longish.
Yeah, on the longer side here. 28 metres.
At this stage, this is where the old saying that the lead, you know, if he can nail this now or get close, it throws that pressure back on New South. Great line, obviously. If you're looking on the TV, these chalked out box marks for the lines as the greens change direction, they're probably just over a metre in on a side. So, you know, at a box and a half short, he'd be looking to certainly get, you know, the 5 feet on here. Out on a good line.
Needs to run. Needs to spin. It's going to do enough. Well, that's a good shot, like you say. About 1.5 metres required there, Duggo, and he's done it well there, Tony Barry. So he hasn't given up. Hat backwards. Cloth hanging out of the pocket. Tony Barry, he's up for the challenge as Tim Twining pulls up short. So, for those that have just joined us recently, the equation here is New South Wales have won both games today, 14-11 over WA, 18-12 over NT, which puts them +9. And as it sits at the moment, they are +4 here, so +13. ACT, they won their first game 13-12 over NT and went down by 7 to WA, which puts them on 1 win -6. And we'll keep you up to date with everything going on around us as well. Other results, of course, other sections. Men's and women's 4s here on day 3 at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Australian Championships, been a long couple of weeks for the Bowls Australia team. We'd like to thank them, all the staff, setting everything up. Of course, what we're seeing here, these greenkeepers doing an amazing job keeping these greens at a high standard, especially this late in the season. All these greens now crying out for renovation. Tuggo, where do you sit with that, mate? What's your knowledge and background? Obviously, playing so much around renovations, it's an important thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's essential. Like, greens reflect the amount of effort put into them, and, you know, they're a plant. They've got to be nurtured and done. These greens here at Broadbeach get an absolute belting. We've had some pretty wet, solid weather over the last few months, even though I've been away. Yeah, the state these greens are in, you know, are a credit to the greenkeeping staff here. They don't get much time off. For those of you that know the Broadbeach, one of the greens is actually out at the moment. You know, nice green, you know, tiff dwarf grass. But, you know, it'll be back in within a fortnight or so, and another one goes out. Green 4 here, the place where they play all the finals of the Australian Open, is, I consider, probably one of the best greens I've ever played on, no matter the surface. It too gets its rest and its renovation each year, and that reflects in its quality, and Barry would certainly confirm that, having played on it in finals after 2 weeks of solid abuse in an Aussie Open.
Yeah, they really don't sleep, these greens. So when you look at these greens, for everyone tuning in from around the world, you're looking at greens that are getting used 7 days a week pretty much, all day long, from social to club events to barefoot bowls, school programs. And this is what they do. They just run on. They manage them up here early. Les Gibbs and his team. Of course, Aaron Sheriff. Aaron Sheriff's down here, 5 a.m. One day playing for Australia, the next out here doing the greens at 5 a.m. We've seen that during Australian Opens, etc. But just a little update with this current situation. So with New South Wales leading 9-5, that gives them, as it sits, 3 wins. And like I said, plus 13. But WA, well, the West Australian men, well, they've played 2 games so far, 1 win, 1 loss, and they sit on plus 4. So with them leading at the moment, as you can see there on the screen over NT, WA 4s, with those 3 shots there, they move up to plus 7. So they're edging closer to New South Wales. If New South Wales were to just go down in a thriller here, and WA keep creeping up, it is anyone's. Absolutely anyone's here, Duggo.
Yep.
This is what it's all about, sectional play. There's results going on all the time.
Yep. And, not that you should really look at scoreboards, but, we're getting to the time of each game now that, someone might have a wry look at a board to see how things are developing. But, NT boys have had a habit here today of pulling back these slow starts on the board anyway, and I certainly wouldn't rule them out against WA at the moment. 3 shots, 11 shots in 9 ends. It's obviously quite close. We can see, just as we've seen in this game, that a 3 can jump out of anywhere.
Well, as you see this head here, looks to be 1 shot to ACT, the yellow bowl of Tony Barry's. They are having a good look, but if they can hang on to this, there's then only 3 shots in it. Let's see what David Hill can produce here. Backhand draw under the orange there, Duggo.
Yep. He's had a few out on this side over the game, and he's tended to be a little bit high, so hopefully he'll trust himself. And
so backhand it is. Well, he's on a tight line. Maybe he's looking for some kind of cannon action. Can he pinch this hole, Stephen Douglas, or pump something up?
It's holding on.
Blue onto blue. Well, if that flops
back.
Gee, that's not a bad looking head all of a sudden for ACT. Any connection down there now? Lee Schraner, I think it'll be forehand draw. Beat that last bowl that got turned up.
Yeah, there's only 2 bowls past Jack here.
And now the flags are really starting to sit down. Beautiful afternoon here.
And we're at that famous stage here at Broadbeach. It's past 4 p.m. You always give it more after 4, Barry.
Yes, very, very famous saying. At 4, give it a yard more. So, David Hill, can ACT win 3 ends in a row? That is massive if they can. So, going for a look.
Shane's sort of looking at options here. Is there a number on it? Hard to say with so many short bowls all around the sort of marking axis. They'd have to be talking some sort of Charlie/Plant option. And here we go.
Yeah, blue, pink is their best program. But can David Hill somehow get down through that hole and pluck that pink bowl out clean? But I still think the Cannons are right, blue onto yellow. 1 shot's okay. The other thing about this is, to ACT, they've got to be mindful of what's going on next door. 1 shot's pretty good. ACT, any win here gets them right in the mix for higher honours. Okay, backhand. Benny Hill, as they call him. What kind of weight we're looking at? Bit of a wind-up.
It's weight.
He said, he pointed to that blue. He's all over that blue.
He's close.
He wants blue, blue, pink.
Oh.
Oh, and the pink moves. And it moves up for shot somehow. What an effort. So Lee Schraner on the mat.
Needs to be careful. The bowl of blue is away.
I don't think he'll be trying too hard here, but he is carrying a little bit of weight, Lee Schraner. Oh,
good miss, Lee.
Yes. One shot, New South Wales. Team of Raymond Terrace, Tim Twining, Jamie Minter, Matty Baus, Lee Schraner now lead 10-5 after 9 ends. Stopping the flow of back-to-back ends from ACT. So we're 9 ends down. Pretty low scoring game really, with the firepower that's out there. 15 shots in 9 ends. But that's the result we're all looking at. The NTWA men's fours, that result there. In terms of how it reflects with this game. And of course the women's fours. We'll give you an update now on how that looks and their standings. The ladies' fours. Some big names out there. We saw last game, star-studded lineup of Kelsey Cottrell, Chloe Stewart, Lindsay Clark and Kira Burke. Well, they're on top of the ladder. Played 2, 1 win, 1 loss. Sorry, 1 draw, and that was a 5 to NT on the last end. So they lead the charge, 4 points, plus 14. Runner-up in that section so far is NT, and they're out there now. We'll give you some updates there.
Solid bowl there from Tim. Up to Tony now. He's probably looking for a genuine 2 and a bit metres.
And Christina Christick's team, undefeated, 2 wins, plus 25. Currently playing the other undefeated team, Tasmania, 2 wins, 13. So 12 shots the difference
Great
there.
bowl here from Tony.
Well done, Tony Barry. So just on that, women's fours, Tassie and WA, both undefeated. The winner of that match will advance to the gold medal round. So that score is live, 9-7 to WA over Tas. Just going under there, Jamie Minter. Only a yard short. So seeing, I know the Jacks move, but seeing 4 or 5 short bowls there, and we saw quite a few last end. Duggo, you did say after 4, give it a yard more.
Just watching him finish here live, I think it's certainly coming into play now. It's not a lot off, but it certainly is a factor here. And I think this green, personally, from over the years, with you can see the shade there, it becomes a bit crucial on this one. This direction, it's a factor. But in saying that, most of these players are fairly experienced and have played here a lot over the journey. They'd be well aware of it, and it is a bit of a characteristic of this grass that as it gets later, it does lose the pace, and sometimes it actually can start drawing a little bit more at the end. And it's the old story of just trusting what you see, Barry.
So we'll give you some results from the other green. Queensland ladies are leading 10-8 after 10 ends. So we'll give you an update too on the other games happening on the other green. I've got pretty good eyesight. So SA lead NT there, 9-4 after 10 ends. Yep, sure can. SA 9-4 over NT after 10. Yep, Tasmania, yep. 8-3 up. And the other one, South Australia over NT. Well, they're both 9-4 after 10. So what about the Victorian? We'll give you the Victorian men's result happening live as we speak. Victoria v Queensland on the end rink under the clubhouse there. I can just see the scoreboard. I can see Queensland. Nice conversion there, Matty Baus.
Lee Schraner quite happy with that result.
He's called him son. So when you call someone son, I'm guessing you're pretty happy. But I can see a few results, and we'll keep you across those as best we can. We can see in the distance using camera equipment. We can zoom in, but live here for those watching this one, 10-5 New South Wales over ACT. So we've got 12 to Queensland, 7 to Victoria after 9 ends.
There's plenty of room here at the moment. The shot bowls, you know, short of Jack High by a couple of bowls. You know, so I think both skips here be fairly confident getting one fairly close here to put a bit of pressure on the other. Obviously a bit key for the ACT boys to answer straight back here, given they, you know, after, well, a hard start on the board at 9-0 down, they'd like to try and stop them scooting away.
Yeah, especially having the opportunity to draw within a yard here. I know there's a few things in the way, but even a touch on that jack makes, well, if you got it, if you move the jack probably 4 feet to the bottom left-hand corner, you make 4 there, Duggo.
Oh.
And I think in this setup, I think David Hill's got to back himself in, doesn't he? Backhand,
yep.
Trail the jack, a yard, make 3.
Yeah. Not sure Lee's over impressed with that one. I think he's maybe had 50 cents each way.
No, so it looks to be forehand. Must be coming
under the front pink.
We must be trying to come under the 2 front pink bowls and trail it forehand instead of backhand.
Tight line.
And it's on its way. This is what he's trying to do. Forehand trail. Can it hold on? Big attempt. That's another one there.
Bowsey's aware of the risk here.
So current ladder positions. Victoria just focusing on that men's game there. Victoria 2 wins, plus 16. And Queensland 1 win, 1 loss, plus 7. So as that scoreboard sits live, 5 shots the difference. Queensland currently, that puts them on plus 12, and Victoria on plus 11. So as that game sits live, Queensland playing Victoria, as that game sits live, are on top of that section.
Big bowl here for Benny Hill.
Can it hang on? It tried to last time. Oh, can he get to the slide off the wall here, Duggo? Not quite.
Matty Baus going for the lie detector. And 1 to Roman Terrace. 11-5 after 10, 2/3 of the way through. If the ACT boys are to get out of jail here and at least win this game and have a chance to progress through to the bronze medal game, this is an absolute must.
Multiple, ideally. 6 shots of difference. So 11 plays 5 here. After 10 ends. 3rd round match on day 3. Tomorrow we bring you the state singles champions all coming together for national glory. So if you love your singles matches, make sure you tune in tomorrow. A lot of big names on show.
A crackerjack field, Barry, you'd agree? Both disciplines, men's and ladies.
Absolutely. And nice start there from Tim Twining. But Tony Barry, he's pretty persistent, isn't he?
Yep, he's
trying to play his role the best he can. Yep. Give his bowler a chance there. Don't mind that in the game. And Dougie, when you look back through the card, New South Wales, a couple of those multiples, the 2 and the 3 there, you take those out, you turn them into ones. Still brings that back to only 2 or 3 shots the difference. It's those multiples we see so often, isn't it?
They're just in any format. The 3s in particular. It's even in a pennant game, whether it's 4 rinks or 3 rinks is a norm in a lot of states now. Effectively, and even in any grade, it's 3 ends of you've got to bring it back to catch up, and in 15 ends, that's 20% of your time that's allocated.
Yeah, very true.
Here's our famous player here, Jamie Minter. He's been very solid. Open draw, way he's been going. You don't like to bet on them before they go, but I'd be pretty confident saying he'd be around about.
Yeah, those shadows, you can see how dark they are and how much further they've crept over the green. And the green just slowing up a touch. That bowl definitely pulling up a little bit quicker than it was about an hour ago. But it doesn't matter for Jamie Minter. So far, that man, he's got my 3 votes.
Oh, for sure. And a perfect example that you don't necessarily have to be at the back end to decide how a game goes.
Not at all. David Pruss. Prussy, they like to call him. Can he hang on to Tony Barry's front one? Just give it a couple of rolls. Just a bit of a strong nudge. He sure can. Well, not quite enough, though. So WA women's 4s lead now 9-7. Men's 4s WA 8-4. Big result, that one. And the women's 4s Victoria, well, they've skipped away 12-5. So Jamie Minter just allowing a little bit more room now for David Pruss to come down. They didn't quite close the door there on him.
I think he's a fraction higher.
He's on a nice line here. Is he going to get down in time for the jack here, though? Pull up.
Great bowl, falls over.
Oh, big effort. 1 full rotation from a side touch-up.
Matty Baus looking to ice it here.
He's done it. Sit right behind would be the program. Yes, well played. Matty Baus's hand starting to heat up.
Can Shane answer?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to Duggo to play with a lot of years over with Aaron.
Can he answer?
Oh, he sure can. What a great bowl. Shane Ordelman, if he can keep that up, I'll tell you what, that's where the comeback starts. Some big clutch bowls. I was just saying, I've been fortunate enough to play with and against Aaron Tees over the years. And we just got a comment there from David Schull about measuring with the fingers. Well, Aaron Tees, it's absolutely faultless with those fingers. He's deadly. He's a master at it. Steve Glasson was deadly with it too, wasn't he? Remember, Glass would always stand over the head, especially in his prime, winning all those major titles, standing over the head with his fingers. One of the greats of all time. And if it works for you, stick at it. If it doesn't work for you, put it away.
I would think Steve Glasso would have been one of the early
definitely
of it, and sort of people sort of think, well, if it's good enough for him, nothing wrong with trying to emulate a champion. And as we all know, those that were lucky enough to play with against Steve, he's one of the all-time. But Barry probably gets it. He's been around a long time, I do too. And people sit there and say, who's the best you ever saw? And I just have to say to them, look, it's a bit sad, really, because you can't compare eras, bowls, even the whole way the game's played. It honestly has changed, I reckon, on average about every dozen or so years. The way that everyone approaches it, the professionalism even has certainly come to the fore. But there are the greats, as Barry said. We're fortunate enough here at Broadbeach that we've got, one I consider to be, one of the scariest good, and Aaron Sheriff is brilliant. We're lucky enough to have Teesy come here and play pennant with us. It's it's just one of the nice parts of our game that you don't necessarily have to play with them, but you can get to watch them.
Absolutely. As Lee Schraner stands over the top of this head, suggesting he might try and play weight here, looking to connect with that front bowl. We haven't got an indication of who's holding here, but with Shane Ordelman drawing the shot, you'd like to hope he's still got it there. And can they grab a one, grab a length, and try and give this game a shake into the last,
I would say that Raymond would have
4 or 5 ends.
Raymond might have the shot here with the stance that Benny's on, definitely as he's playing weight. Close.
He's got movement here. Bowl clean. That will nearly do. One shot, ACT. Good conversion there from David Hill.
Big bowl in context of where it sits.
Lee Schraner backhand. It's on its way. Looking to sit that blue bowl there at Jack High. He's going to get into that one there, though. Not quite getting under. So, difficult decision for David Hill here. He's got one, but any touch of the jack can be a little bit tricky. So, dead draw within 6 inches to count for 2, and they need them. Absolutely, they need them. Well, Karen Pickering said, Duggo, make sure you pencil in a trip to Tassie.
Bad news, Karen, who is Jade Gronowedges, my great mate's partner. We have been discussing such options. So Sue wants to come down and visit you and see lovely Tasmania. Great part of the world, of course. We're plans afoot.
Careful here, David Hill. Promotion zone.
One and run, I think.
One shot, ACT. That stops the flow of 2 ends in a row for New South Wales. They now get to 6.
Yes, I'm lucky.
6-11. 6 plays 11. 11 ends played.
Lucky enough to have 2 horses going around tomorrow in the men's singles. I've got the NT horse, of course, and, of course, Jade representing Tasmania now, following a move from, NT to Queensland down to his home state of origin in Tassie.
Plenty of games going on. Let's go around the rinks for you. Next door to this one, Victoria lead ACT 13-8 after 11 ends. So That one there, women's fours, Victoria in front there, 13-8 after 11. And next door to that, WA lead NT in the men's fours. WA up 11-5 after 12 ends. So that's very important for WA, getting some shots there. And on the last rink, WA now have skipped out to a big lead, 14-7 after 11. And our esteemed colleague, Paul Holschke, hard to get a hold of this man. He's so busy all of the time. He's been lucky enough to give a couple of minutes of his time up and hand over some results live from around the greens. Ends played. So here we are. Men's fours. Victoria. Well, it's now 17-7. Queensland skipped away after 11 ends. So now 10 shots in that. Just before it was 12-7. So it's Queensland leading that section now in the men's fours over Victoria. Next door to that, Queensland playing New South Wales in the women's fours. 12-6 after 12 ends. South Australia, women's fours, 13-4 up over NT. I think the majority of this game, Stephen Douglas, heading this way, the heads haven't been quite as good as the other direction, as we see here.
Maddie made the comment just before that it's definitely slowing up, so we're hearing that from them who are watching them. There's another great bowl from our mate, Mr. Jamie Minter. He has come straight out of the presses in this one, people.
I'll give you the South Australian ACT result soon. Nathan Black, well, they're on 11. I can't quite see the rest of that scoreboard. We'll bring you the rest of that very soon. So South Australia over the back there. Nathan Black, Craig Mills playing the Tasmanian team. We'll get that score for you. South Australia 13-4 after 12 ends. So there's 8 rinks of scores around the greens for you. Keeping you up to date as best we can. We're lucky that in this occasion, all the games going on there right next to each other greens-wise, but unfortunately in our position, the scoreboards for the green next door are right down the other end. But thanks for tuning in wherever you are from all around the world. We've got some people tuning in from the UK. We've had South Africa, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Malaysia.
Clear air here.
Yeah,
got
nice
a great
shot.
result.
He's had a pretty decent second half, Shane Ordelman. Sort of always had one around it.
Yep. Just that early few ends, the Raymond Terrace boys were just that little bit more consistent and you know, got away to a good start, as we said. Always hard to pull back, but changing conditions now. And again tonight it'll be a completely different case, Barry, on that bottom green. It's there's nothing wrong with it, but fair try there from Baus. Good home. They were looking for one there earlier. He called Jamie to be there, so they're obviously protecting this weighted shot onto the short shot bowl.
Yeah, we can just hear there David Hill saying, come down and crack an egg on that. I think it's super important here. He stays on though. As you can see at the bottom of the right-hand screen there, that bowl of David Pruss in that catchment area. Well, this is going to leave the rink for sure.
Oh, nearly a result.
So that bowl now is off the green, has no value. Just thought that it was important to keep that one on the green, especially when chasing multiples. So that bowl, as you can see, when Lee moves out of the way, the shot bowl, it's only 2 inches off the jack. Any touch on that bowl, you'd suggest the jack's going to spring back. And for David Hill, he has to do that to the point where the jack goes back to their back bowl about 6 feet from the shot bowl. So nice shot there from Matty Baus. That's a really good area. They win the back now. So tough shot on for David Hill. Has to crack an egg on the shot bowl, but not kick the jack too far back because Matty Baus now has the backest bowl.
The way it lies, I don't think it goes dead. You know, it's one of these ones he's going to have to try and play that tricky sort of weight to maybe halve that front shot bowl and then keep with the jack, because if he pops it too far, there's 3 shots at least of Raymond's waiting. Anyway, we'll soon find out. Benny's sitting there having a good glare.
Here he goes, having a good look at this. David Hill, forehand it is. Let's see what kind of weight it is. It's definitely going to be trying to crack an egg on that shot bowl. For me, I think it needs to be around that 6 to 8 feet mark. He's on a good line.
Game on here.
He's played it pretty well, Duggo.
You getting excited, Barry?
He gets it solid from there. It should help.
He's the wrong half of it.
Well, that's not all bad. He's opened it up. He's got another option now. He can play solid for the bowls. Pretty good conversion all in all.
Classic case, like, as long as you hit the head and change it, you're always going to get value, aren't you?
Yeah, Lee Schraner, I think he wants to get another one just around the back here. Doesn't want to fill that hole there between the shot bowl and the pink bowl. Doesn't want to flop off the inside of that one.
He's blocked that little shoulder, has he?
So depending how aggressive he wants to be, David Hill, but if he hits that last one of Lee Schraner's, they all go, all 3 bowls.
Little trail was the call.
Okay, the call is trail the jack a yard. He's on a good line again.
Does he keep the weight similar? I think it's hanging on him.
It is just a little bit high. Can he just reduce though? No, missing the back one as well. So as that sits, looks to be 3 shots. And this game is now really starting to get away from the ACT quartet.
You'd back Lee after his first to probably add here, no doubt. He's giving it a bit of a stalk after. So no, he's
needs to hurry. Not quite.
maybe
3 it is. That's 14, plays 6. After 12, ends. So that, for me, pretty much does it. WA men, well, they're up 11-5 after 12 ends. Lots of action happening. Plenty of shadow on the greens now. Lights won't be far away here. We are only probably an hour out from sunset. Still 24 degrees, Duggo.
lovely. Nice minimum.
Hot one tomorrow. 30 degrees tomorrow. Big, nice hot couple of days to finish the week out. Thank you for joining us, everyone, wherever you may be. Great shot there, just turning away at the end there. Tim Twining, touch up. About a yard away now. So long days here. Players would have been up sort of 6 o'clock, breakfast, get down to the club nice and early. 3 games of sectional. 45 ends of 4s. So put that into perspective. That's 2 games of pennant. And I know a lot of people out there are buggered after 1 game of pennant. Now, put that into perspective, ladies and gentlemen. These players have played effectively 2 games of pennant already. And for those that progress into this evening, they'll be playing another 15 ends. So, long day, Duggo.
Certainly is. You earned the silverware tonight. And a few people in the club earlier today were sort of not... it was warm. They could certainly feel it. And in the case of some of these players, they've already had a full week of Marge Morris and Ali Shields down at Tweed last week, and some are leg weary. As much as they play a lot of bowls, it's literally a lot of bowls because you do a bit of walking.
And it is slightly out of season too, Duggo, for some. Yep. Victoria and probably ACT to a degree, and Tassie. They're coming out of a cold winter. Not being able to play on the hard, fast, quick running greens, and you come up here and you see some great performances from those states, and you think, well done. Some players choose to have the winter off, down that way. So they've gone all the way, won their state titles way back in March, April, had the winter off, and then back out of winter, up here they come. So a couple of really nice shots here by the Raymond Terrace team. The Jets, the home of the Jets. And for those that haven't been there or don't know much about Raymond Terrace, they've got a double roof green down there. They call it the Hanger. And this man here, Jamie Minter, well, he's played a few hangers. He's played well, hasn't he, Duggo?
Oh, I think the RAF would be looking to sign him up for the bombs that he's been playing. They've been rippers.
That's another one in a great zone. So David Pruss. Prussy, they like to call him. Chuck this one out on a high line. Absolute ripping fella. Always up for a chat. A smile on his face.
Giving us a chance, has he?
He'd be smiling if he can draw this, but he's just going to go under. Look at that weight control, though. Beautiful speed. Matty Baus, I think he'll be looking to tuck this jack in now.
Well, it's looking like that famous nightmare head where all the bowls are on the line and the jack's basically just cold draw if you are the poor person that is down.
So backhand it is. It's matching those wing ones. Is there any place there looking to drop a number where if the jack was to get kicked out of there? I think do you sort of Hail Mary this a little bit, Duggo? Come down, swing for the jack, kick it out the back, try and make a multiple? Or do you just try and consolidate the best you can here?
That's my call here if I was playing this personally would be I wouldn't mind if he was to just fatten this a little bit on that high forehand side and then have the option of probably going kill. It's that stage of the game with 3 to go, 8 down. Very hard to create a multiple with the way it's lying this head at the moment, but unfortunately a bit of a nothing result there.
Nice line from Shane. Good attempt. 4 foot short.
Yeah. Matty's certainly not looking to fatten his head.
No, just turn one of those over. Well, he's kicked that into a good spot. So that would be, I would have thought, 5 shots. Shane, Ordelman, bit of pressure here. Is he up to it? Needs to find 4 feet away down on that high line. The wind just kicking up a touch.
Has he got enough?
Well, if he's got good weight, he might manage to get 2nd or 3rd here. Hang around for 3rd.
It's lovely weight.
Might be. Maybe even 2nd, going by that angle.
Bit hard to make a number here, though, unfortunately, for David Hill.
Just a comment there from Paul Gertz about Lee Schraner. Lee's quite introverted, Paul, so Lee will will show more emotion. And don't worry, he's positive. Lee's a very positive player, positive person. But he's just quite introverted, Lee. He's not the exuberant, extroverted, up and down the green, voicey, yelly body language. Lee just goes about at his own pace, and he's sort of more relaxed to just say, good shot, well done, boys, on a quiet way. But when he needs to, plays a big bowl, Lee will get up and about. But that's the beauty of this game. In a dugout, everyone goes about it differently, and you've got your introverts and you've got your extroverts.
Oh, and definitely. And yeah, the people that know me will... I'm lucky that or unlucky in some cases, have a voice that tends to carry. But as I said, it's each to their own. And
oh, Duggo.
Oh, no.
Well, that could be second. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, mate.
No problems. It's
but everyone goes about it differently, you were saying?
Yes, and there's been some real characters over the years on the green. Not necessarily loud, but with some of their wit, genuinely quite humorous. And brilliant sledges.
Yeah, some good sledges going around. Lee Schraner, forehand. Just looking for an opening down there. Oh, connecting on that last shot of David Hills. Well, if we can just get a little bit of a zoom out there, Robbie, and just see if there's anything further back at the bottom of that screen. We might see a cannon here. So it's just the one yellow one at the back. So you can see that cannon at the front of the head. I thought that they might be looking for that. Just off centre there. Strong weight at the blue bowl, kicking the pink through the jack. Bowl in the ditch, and the yellow one scores, but maybe just looking to play forehand, kick the jack out. Tough shot once again from David Hill. He needs to clear through there.
And
a lot of bowls in the way. 4 bowls on the way in there. Tough shot. And it looks to be a 1. So 15 plays 6. Up and down. Backing up.
And this will be long, this end. No doubt about it. Stick with what's worked.
So that's 5 ends in a row for New South Wales after ACT went on a little run there, winning the 7th and 8th end, picking up a 3, then a 2, and New South Wales responded. New South Wales responded, picking up a 1 on the 9th end, a 1 on the 10th end, then ACT getting the solitary 1 on the 11th, and then New South Wales backing it up again. And that's what it's all about. When you lose the end, it's how you respond. New South Wales getting that 3 on the 12th end, and then that single. So 15 plays 6, 9 shots the difference. The way it's situated, New South Wales will go through undefeated, top of their section, and the other decider for the gold medal match. And the other section looks to be very close as well with Queensland. Now a nice lead over Victoria in the men's. It's good correction there from Tim Twining. See there, 18 shots, plays 8. Queensland over Victoria after 13 ends.
The WA-NT men's game is over, but we're just waiting for the final score there. But currently, I would think WA as they're 13-6 up.
We'll get you the completed score there and update it for you. But really enjoyed this match. I've just loved to see how some teams, what I've really enjoyed the last few days, some teams, when you don't get off to a great start, in this case, New South Wales were 9-0 up, and ACT, they haven't given up. They've persisted. They've been right in the mix at different stages. But consistency's definitely shone through here. And Jamie Minter, as we've seen all game, he's holding the shot. He's just been rock solid in that 2 position, hasn't he, Stephen?
It's it'd be pretty hard to fault his performance on any bowl at all, really. There haven't been too many ineffective ones. And set up a great base, really, for his back end to work with. They're not at risk, really, very often of doing a number. They've made it tough for their opponents at the ACT to have to play a shot to create a number, and pressure stops everybody at the end. It's but they've certainly battled it out. There's no disgrace for the way the boys are playing, and it's just that they're up a very solid unit. And well, obviously, if you can win a New South Wales Fours, Barry, you must have played pretty well.
Yeah, very true. Big fields, strong fields, New South Wales. They bat deep. That one there, well, that's just going to finish short. A couple of short ones. Second last here from David. So, and as we see Lee Schraner there, we're just talking about body language and that. He knows the game's close to being over, but he's involved. He's in the head, body language, putting his foot out, trying to keep Matty Baus also involved. Matty Baus, nice little edge coming up here. Well, that's a bit cheeky. He couldn't fall on it, could he? No. Well, bit of a guide now for David Hill to call Shane Ordelman on.
And the important part is, I mean, there is another game to go here. If you don't want to start relaxing, Barry, because people say, "Oh, switch off," but it's very easy to go walk about, and that's when trouble starts.
Yeah, that mind game. Body starts getting sore or tired, then the mind starts to go with it. Becomes a tough effort from there. Matty Baus. On the mat. Forehand draw is the call. So we're at 5:15. Lights will be on soon. Sun slowly setting in the background. And look at this bowl just running on. Well, I've got that at 16 seconds.
That's a fair testament to the green.
16 seconds at 5:15 into the evening. Late afternoon anyway, but yeah, that's right, Duggo.
In 100% shadow the whole length of that journey, and we're 1.50 metre short of the tee at 2 to tee.
This has a chance, at least to promote. The angles are good. The angles are good. That's not bad. Good effort there from Shane Ordelman from the Vikings. Tuggeranong Valley Vikings, is it?
Tuggeranong Valley, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. As we spoke about their uniforms earlier, they're quite smart.
Well, I could stand corrected, but I think the ACT and New South are the only states that require everyone to be at the one club. Is that right, Barry? Or
in terms of composite teams? Well, Victoria, you got to play with a player from the same region.
Which
it's not the club. You're right, but yeah, you might be right there. Yep.
Which is sometimes contentious. Someone asked me how long that's been in, and I know for some of the smaller states for years they enabled everyone to pick composite sides, but Victoria for many years you had to be the same club. But it was a few years ago they brought in back to the same region. But yeah, New South, I know for sure you still have to be all one club.
All my years playing bowls in Victoria, state events, I cannot remember playing a state event with someone from another club. Yeah. Jack is vulnerable here. Well, he's got it. Is it going to stay in? Yes, it is. And what's the situation? David Hill, is that ball shot?
I would back it to be, but close.
That camera angle would tell you it's definitely shot, but that pink bowl at Jack High, pretty close. Lee Schraner, backhand it is. Definitely a bit doughier out there. Hasn't been walked on, hasn't been played on, and that's what we see time and time again. Every time you see a jack-off line, late in the day especially, hasn't been walked on and played on. It's just that little bit of traffic, less traffic can cause maybe 4 or 5 feet of speed, but ideally in this environment, if you can go down the middle where you know the speed, it's probably advised.
For sure. And look, you would back Lee to get on an open draw like that much closer normally. As you said, the condition is, haven't been there.
Needs the yellow. Well, he's going to pump that up.
Oh, wow.
Only way to do it. 2 fingers in the air. Well, they're still alive. They're still alive.
I have seen the famous 8 on the last end to win in the Australian fours. Unbelievable as you would think. Rarer than a hole in one, but it has been done. The gentlemen that did it were fairly handy players, and they did it against a very handy bunch as well. But you wouldn't believe it. 8 shots last end to win in the Australian fours.
My goodness.
Incredible.
There you go. So that's what ACT require. 7 to draw. 8 to win. Have we got something in store for you all as the sun sets here? About half an hour of daylight left. The lights will be coming on, and then we'll be into the gold medal match tonight. It's a nice start from Tony Barry. It's where it needs to be if they're to chase a number here. ACT now allows composite teams for BACT championships.
Thank you, whoever sent that through.
Thanks very much, Leanne. Nice shot there from Tim, but Tony Barry, he'll be on the charge here. Couple of bowls past Jack. That's all they need to start, just to keep the dream alive, as they say. Needs to hurry. Well, I don't know if that'll feature in the 8.
If that makes an 8, we're going to see something that'll be on YouTube for a long time.
I'm sure Matty Baus will have something to say about this. If they're chasing down a number. He's got that look in his eye, Matty Baus, chasing another major title. Oh, Timmy Twining. He's warming up.
Oh.
He's just warming up.
Look out.
David Pruss. Backhand.
Only needs to hold.
One yard, 4 feet. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. 6:15 tonight. After we conclude here, we'll have a little break, come back, bring you the big game. Women's fours final, gold medal match.
Has that been decided yet, Barry, or are we still live?
It's not. No, it hasn't. It's as we see that result over there, Tasmania, WA. They're both undefeated. So in the women's fours, that's the one we're waiting on, and it's the Queensland New South Wales result happening over the back as well. But then you've got the ACT women. Remembering what they did today, they got a 5 to draw against Queensland and then had a big win against New South. So they're currently sitting on 1.5 over there. And as you can clearly see, Duggo, when you're sitting in the commentary box and you're trying to bring everyone up to date with all the results, there's a lot going on. We'll try and fast track that for you. As we see, just quality bowls here, as we've seen all game from the really strong outfit from New South Wales, the Raymond Terrace Jets.
They haven't let up all game.
Shane Ordelman, well, he's just trying to sit that shot bowl or trail the jack, just missing high. Game finishing up next door. Victoria, they've had a win. 15-12 over ACT. The game's done.
Matty Baus, not quite up.
Yeah, it's been a big day, especially for the ladies from the NT. Great effort. Draw against Queensland and a nice win against New South as Shane Ordelman follows that one down. Just not getting back in time. Pretty good effort there, though. That's their best bowl.
Nothing really on either for the ACT boys here at the moment. Maddie coming in nicely. Great weight.
Yeah, look at that. Line control and then just adjustment of the weight. So, South Australia beating Taz 17-8 over the back there. And I'll get you the New South Wales Queensland women's fours result very shortly as the skippers walk down to the end for the last time here. And the one place I'm looking for the score is where there's about 16 people standing, so it's always fun. I can name every one of them. Anyway, we'll get there for you as David Hill on the mat, looking to work around the front. He's just pushed it high there.
We might have to get BA to invest in a drone cam for you, Robbie, so we can do these updates when it gets interesting.
So Queensland 16-9 over New South Wales. So Queensland, they'll advance, 2 wins and a draw into the women's gold medal match.
I can say from the men's fours, it looks like 18-10 after 14 to Queensland there, so that'll be probably enough for Queensland, Barry, on the current.
Yeah, and I think David Hill here, he'll be still focused to try and play a big one here. You don't want to drop a soft number at the end of the day. Yeah. Well, he wants to stay away from now. He doesn't want to go hitting his nearest out. Careful, David.
Oh, dear.
Careful. Wow.
That will be enough.
Yeah, no, that's nice. Nice gesture from Lee Schraner there. He doesn't need to play that. Well, I can see, I think that'll be a 5. We'll give you the exact score anyway. But so New South Wales, the team of Tin Twining, Jamie Minter, Matthew Baus and Lee Schraner, quality team, club team from New South Wales, Raymond Terrace Jets from the hangar down there in Newcastle. They were just too strong for the boys from the Tuggeranong Valley Vikings. Tony Barry, David Pruss, Shane Alderman and David Hill. Well done to you. Well done on your day. And that was a 4, so that takes it to 19-8. And Stephen Duggo Douglas, thank you for joining me and giving up your time today, mate. Just reflecting on the day's play, mate. From what you've seen, who do you like going into tonight's gold medal match? It's going to be between Queensland and New South Wales.
Honestly, that other section, they've had 3 very hard games. So, albeit the score at the moment might be a little bit, against the New South Wales boys who've had, they had some close ones early too. I think it'll be a cracker. The back ends in particular for both sides are very strong. You've got young Kane, Nelson, who's, Jackaroo squad, playing solid. He's in multiple disciplines here this week. And then you've got him against like an established pairing, as you've just seen in Maddie and Lee. Yeah, I think it'll be a ripper. It'll be in the background, obviously, of the ladies' final, which will be an absolute cracker as well. There's some very solid players there, even though we're probably still not 100% sure on who that's going to be yet, are we, Barry? We haven't got that worked out.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Getting very close to that.
So, I mean, yeah, it's certainly worth watching that. There's be quality everywhere. Yeah, I'll call extra end. How's that sound?
Yeah, no worries. I've been there, done that. I've sat on the fence before,
Yep.
Duggo. But no, it's good to get your insight, mate. You're one of those lovable characters around the bowl circuit. You play a lot of bowls. You know a lot about the game. Been entrenched in the sport for many years, as you mentioned, well over 40 years. And it's great to get your insights and perspective of the game. Talk a bit about the history and some shot selections, etc. And mate, thanks for your company. Thanks for giving up your time. And we'll no doubt see you around the traps before you head away next.
Thanks very much, Barry. Thank you for the kind words. And it's quite nice to sit here. And again, Barry, one of the most knowledgeable people in the sport, again, has been around for years. So, no, thank you all. Thank you for watching, everybody that is still with us. And definitely make sure you watch these games tonight and certainly tomorrow and Friday. It will be quality all the way. Thank you.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here for the round 3 match with New South Wales winning their game against ACT and finishing on top of the section. And we'll be back very soon. But if you want to keep up to date with any results, go to the Bowls Now app and check out all the Bowls Link results. They are there, right there at a click of the button. Download the app if you don't have it, or check out the Bowls Australia website. And we'll be back very soon, 6:15, for the women's gold medal match for the Australian Championships Women's Fours action, coming back to you soon. I'm Barry Lester. Thanks for joining us.